the creative economy in Britain is huge.
Massive.
We spend a lot of time talking about the financial sector here on this channel, but the creative sector is absolutely massive, as you say. How good is it at turning creativity into business?
It could be better.
Okay.
I think we're on our way to learning how to do that. As a culture, the creative sector haven't really had finance and commercialism at the forefront of their minds. In fact, there's a real sort of stigma around selling versus selling out.
Yeah.
But I think that's changing, and I think there's a lot of support in this country, both financially and the education sector, toward helping people realize how to make a living from what they've been making and doing.
Yeah.
So times are changing.
Times are changing. So if I went to this festival this weekend, what am I going to learn? What am I going to see?
Well, you've got 200 brilliant creative businesses who've been through a year of training on the School for Creative Startups course and are now ready to launch their businesses and put everything they've learned into practice. So their pitch, their brand, their product, they're all out there for show now, and they're getting feedback from their audiences and learning how to really exist as businesses.
We, up the road here, 250 yards up the road,
Yeah.
Tech City.
Yeah.
Do we need something like that for the creative industries, or are the two kind of meshing together?
I have a personal gripe with the fact that the tech community have pilfered the word creative and sort of abused it a little bit. I think that they do touch one another, but there's definitely a lot more to the creative sector than just technology. I mean, we work with people from, you know, snail farmers to milliners to chocolate makers, a wide range of creative sectors beyond tech. I do think we need to shift attention a little bit to what we really do well as a country. You know, there's nowhere else in the world like the UK for the creative sector, and we're very focused on technology right now.
Yeah.
I think if we shift our attention a little bit and pay more than lip service to the creative sector, it'll go a long way toward ensuring our legacy.
Talking of milliners, I guess we could wear more than one hat. The amazing thing is that despite all of what you've been telling me, the UK is really, really good at that. Is that just a London phenomenon, though, or is that a UK phenomenon?
I think it's a UK phenomenon, and I also think that it's because of the internet and because of the ability that we can now have a global business from anywhere we are. You're seeing pockets in other places. Bristol's incredibly creative. Kent has gone a long way toward upping their creative sector and supporting it. Newcastle, there's really great hot pockets around. I think you're always going to have with a major city that influx of people from all those other cities coming to London, because that's where the money is and the energy and the focus. But I think the whole country is incredibly talented and creative.
What do we need to do better when it comes to education? I mean, right, starting at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I think that entrepreneurial education should be on par with something like sex education. Embedded in the curricula from an early age, people are prepared.
Probably don't want to mix the two, but yeah.
Not in the same class necessarily, but with the same kind of embedding, so that from an early age you know what it is as a mindset. When you come across it, you're prepared, you can make smart decisions and know how you want to move forward. Because I think in the creative sector there's been a real sort of, this isn't for you, business isn't for you in education, and we have to move away from that. We have to offer them a wide breadth of opportunities, you know, whether you want to work for someone else or you want to start your own thing.
What you said at the beginning was really interesting. You talked about the fact that the creative sector has this sort of antipathy for commerce. And that almost seems to be at the top rather than the bottom. I guess the people that are coming in probably don't have that as ingrained as maybe the people at the top. There seems to be this sort of institutionalized sort of desire not to sell out, as you say. Do we almost need to educate the people? You almost need to educate the people right across the demographic spectrum. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think creative people are inherently entrepreneurial. They have a vision, they want to realize it. So why aren't they being taught from the beginning how to do that? I think I've come from the art school sector in this country, and I've watched as commercialism has been a real dirty word, really something that people don't talk about, and we have to change that, because in truth creative people don't live on red wine and nicotine alone. They need roofs and food.
No, there's coffee as well.
Yes. But they need more than that, and we have to help them achieve that, because otherwise they're dropping out, they're doing other things, and they're making creative things as their sort of dirty secret nights and weekends instead of doing that as their primary income stream.
Do other people in other nations do this better than we do? I'm not talking about the creativity, I'm talking about the ability to commercialize it.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a balancing act, though. I think the Americans do commercialism incredibly well. It's ingrained in us. We are go-getters and driven from the beginning. But the UK, the British makers have a lot more integrity and a lot more sort of focus on staying true to what they've set out to do. So there's somewhere in the middle where we have equal amounts of integrity and commercialism, and we can be brilliant here.